Junior A's to the rail, please. Junior A's to the rail. Thanks, everybody, and welcome here. We've got some racing for the juniors today. Thanks for the patience with our rain delay. An hour late start, but we're glad to still be able to host this. Juniors only today. Junior A, B, C, and D groups will be coming through to race a variety of formats today. And our first group getting set at the rail right now is the Junior A's for the first race, which will be a series of scratch races. Our Junior A's racing in an international omnium format. So we'll be following along with how that race unfolds as well. This will be the first race of that series. Junior A's, all riders to the rail for the scratch race in your IO. Once again, thanks for joining us here today. Happy to be hosting another session of racing at the Velodrome this weekend, specifically for our juniors. Riders coming in from out of town to make this a fun and fast weekend of just junior riders at the Jerry Baker Memorial Velodrome. And today we start things off with the Junior A category that's taking the track for the neutral. They'll start out of turn 4 if they're all together. And these riders are going to go for a 15-lap scratch race. The first of 4 races to set the tempo for what will be a 4-race event, the International Omnium. 15 to go. Off and away we go in the scratch race. Junior A's making it pretty quick already. Gavin Newman trying to establish a little bit of presence at the front of this group. One of our riders from Portland that makes his way up here pretty frequently with the teammates. You used to see a few that have joined here with us today. The East Portland Youth Cycling Team. That's triple shot rider Kimberly Chen. The dominant rider that we've seen here now twice this weekend from yesterday and today has been in great form and continuing to look very strong here out in front of this Junior A group as these two riders try to set the pace a little bit early, open things up. 13 to go. Bit of a counterattack here about a lap ago from Will Mitchell, the rider in all gray, dark color off the front, and continuing to hold off the charge here for a couple of laps. We now start to see Newman and his teammate jumping in to try to close the gap. That's Jack Hampson now taking over at the front. He had a great showing in last night's Cat 4 field. Ended up taking the overall Omnium for the night between the few races that we had yesterday. So there's Gallagher, one of our local riders for the Jerry Baker Juniors team, who you can usually find racing here on a Friday night in our Cat 1-2 fields very recently, a recent upgrade for the speedster for the Jerry Baker Juniors. This is our Junior A field, so their age group is faster. They're a little older, so it's going to be our 17, 18-year-olds in general. So they 16, 17, yes, of course. And the riders come together at the end for a big international omnium. So each of these races is kind of a progressive part of a longer series. You're in 15 points if you win this race, and for every place behind that, you get a little bit less. carry that forward, and you start the points race at the very end of the Omnium, the International Omnium, with however many points you have earned. So each victory, of course, helping out these riders for the overall victory at the end. Seeing 9 to go now, your break of 4. It's still Mitchell, Gallagher, Newman, and Hampson working together right now has made a strong group of 4 off the front. And it's really kind of our biggest group of riders. Although I see another group of 4 here working together and keeping it quick as well. Here we see our leaders again fanning out across the track. Don't need to work too hard against each other right now unless that's the way you think you're going to win. So it's okay. They've already broken themselves away a little bit here. A little bit of hesitation now. I don't think they feel like they're going to become unglued at any point. Although Mitchell's still willing to keep it a little bit quick, maybe not wanting to let this back group of 3 into the action. I see JC Pyle, one of our local riders for the J. Baker Juniors, put a lot of effort this season into sprinting. He'd love to be able to get in there and throw down during the end of this race, but the speed from the front making it hard for this chasing group of 3. Trying to close down the catch here, just a little bit more distance to go for Amos Scott Burrius of the Triple Shot Racing Team. Joe Spranger trying to be a part of this bridging effort as well, nearly making it up to the front here. Our Triple Shot rider does make it up, though. It looks like Amos is going to get there. So close. Once he gets through turn 4, should be just within reach to start feeling the benefit of the draft from the riders in front of him, and there he goes. So we've got our front 5 here, 6 to go. Good move for Triple Shot to close the gap down and get up into the action. That leaves Spranger and Pyle dangling at the moment and unable to get a home for themselves. So they've got a bit of a hard road ahead of them. The riders did see 6 to go last time we saw them. Five to go. That's one of our riders, Oscar, getting brought back in potentially by the acceleration from the lead riders. They do catch him on the lap, see if he can get back in with them. This is all about education, community, and racing opportunities for the youth. They started today off with clinics. They had some yesterday as well. There'll be more tomorrow before we get ready for some sprinting for the kids. So it's all about giving the training, the skill sets, get to meet some local experts, hang out with each other, share trade secrets between the teams, and of course, some social time for the kids to get to see other riders from other places, mostly here on the Pacific Northwest. We're not so far flung. We're seeing kids from everywhere, but it's been fun to see our riders here along the West Coast joining us for the weekend. The race continues to be about this front group. And after all that work to catch on, Amos is actually falling off the pace. Our front group is back to 4 now. Mitchell setting the pace currently, flies up towards the rail, and the rest of the riders are going to sit with him. Your leader seeing 3 now. That's Gallagher still in this group of 4, the rider at the leads position in the blue and red and black of the Jerry Baker Juniors team. The black with pink is the Team Epic riders. There's 2 of them in this group, both Hampson and Newman making it into this effort. The rider now taking the front is Newman, and then the rider in the very dark kit, that's Will Mitchell, riding as independent here today. Seeing 2 to go. Probably should just make this catch happen quick, guys. Like they're hesitating here, I'm not sure. You're gonna be sprinting right in the back of a group if you don't just get the catch done before the bell, but whatever. Okay, here they go. We'll figure it out later. It's all about learning. And safety. That's actually what I was more concerned about. But they're concerned about winning. I want to win, darn it. In fact, the looks like our backfield the back group flew way up to leave lots of room. Bell's ringing. It's 1 to go for everybody. That's a catch here. That's 1 to go. Riders are being brought down the lap. 1 to go. Amos makes a nice attack there as that whole group is sleeping up at the rail. But the catch from the leaders does mean that the rest of those riders go down. We're on our final lap. They've scored down the lap, but here we go. Also 1 to go for Spranger here. Ding, 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 he says. He knows what's up. And the finish coming up here. Mitchell looking strong down in the lower part of the track will be the winner in the scratch. It was a good sprint between Newman and Gallagher. Hard to call between either of them, but Mitchell looking very quick there. Manages to stick the win there for the first race in this series. So he'll start with the best start for the next race. We'll look forward to seeing more from the Junior A's. A good start here in the scratch. Riders, please exit on the back straight on the same lap you finish if you're able to do so. We're going to try and bring our groups up as quick as possible. So as you finish, exit into the warm-up circle on that lap. That would be helpful. Here comes your next group to the rail now. Junior B's. To the rail, please. And our riders going out for another 15-lap event. This will be a scratch race scored independently here, not part of the International Omnium. Same rules apply, 15 laps of racing bell at 1 to go. Riders will start out of the neutral throttle together in turn 4. Junior B is currently on track. On deck, the Junior C rider is getting set for their scratch. Racing underway, 15 laps to go. Yes, indeed, we are recording and streaming for the fans and families around the country that would like to watch the racing. So if you brought in your junior to race here today and would like to share the stream coverage, you can do so by finding our YouTube channel. The easiest way you might be able to pick that up is going to the website velodrome.org/live, where we have today's schedule, the start lists and results as they're posted, and a link to the live stream for the current event. Again, all of that can be found at velodrome.org/live. Jump on in really quick, give a thumbs up, share it with some family on the socials. Let them know you're here and that they can watch the kids race, and give us a bit of support today. This is, of course, the second racing session of the Junior Takeover weekend. Riders coming in from out of town to help make this a very full weekend of junior racing action. One of the few events like this really in the country that looks like this, certainly this on the coast. We're able to bring together riders from British Columbia, from Portland, even some riders coming all the way from California made their way up here to partake in our clinics and, of course, throw down here on our 400-meter velodrome. 13 to go for the Junior Bs. Good group here. I think I heard it was 15, 18 at the rail, somewhere in that range. 15. So a big group here of just young riders. Currently working together pretty cooperatively, no surprise. It's a fairly long scratch race. Riders taking their turns, and at this point a bit of a respite. Any of those riders in that kind of aquamarine colored jersey, they're coming down to us from the Victoria area. Many of the members of the Triple Shot Cycling Club. They've got a couple different jerseys on this weekend, but it looks like the majority of the riders in this group, that's that blue color, mixing in with what is certainly one of our larger fields representing the Jerry Baker Junior squad, our local partner team with the Velodrome. Over 45 juniors registered for the full team. Also have a couple of our East Portland Youth Cycling members right in the middle of the field. And that's sort of kind of the bulk of the representation, but you'll see one lone dog out there, number 470, our Californian, in the midst here as well. Might be getting the award for the longest travel, I think. It's David Avery, along with Sophia, I think was racing yesterday. Will Sophia also be here today racing? I don't know. I haven't looked at the start list. There you go. Very good. I think they might be our furthest travelers. I'd have to check. All right, so we have San Jose a little further away, so maybe not the Avery family, but that's still our Californians have made a pretty big journey to get up here. So glad to have them for the 3 days. Could have brought some of your balmy sunny weather here for the Saturday. That'd have been appreciated. It was beautiful yesterday. We're under 10 laps remaining. They swing 9 on the cards, and here comes an attack. It's like Isla Rendell, number 232, I believe, the triple shot U team, either that or her teammate Lindsay Cameron out there making the attack here. Just a quick little accelerant there, trying things out. Nobody bites, pulls up and lets the field come underneath, and will fall back into the fold of the group. Just making sure everything still worked right? Got to get up to top speed and make sure that you're ready for that sprint when it's time. And to get it right, that was Lindsay, the rider, in 2.33, making the jump off the front. Another mid-race attack here starting to form. Seeing 7 to go as Keegan Fairbanks wants to try a little bit of action here. Quick response here from the field as Keegan's not going to be able to pull away from anything here, but again, forcing a reaction. I mean, this is larger than some of the fields we'd have on a regular race night. Just with juniors, pretty cool to see that. And so far managing it pretty well here. Our group has a few more laps before the heat really will turn up as we get closer and closer to this finish. But pretty good speed here the last couple laps as there's been a fair amount of aggression. Some solo riders trying to make something happen. Just experimenting, kind of playing with the field a bit. It looks like Rue's also pushing on the pedals for a quick turn for a bit here and pulls back up the speed one more time. Looks like 5 to go. Four to go. 4 to go. Yeah, coach is giving some encouragement from the infield to do the right thing, which is namely look before you move, look before you change lanes. Can't ride a bike blindfolded very well in these fields. That would be pretty challenging. Use your eyes before you move. Look around and be ready because the speed's coming, especially from this slow of a speed. We know it's going to be coming back. And here we go. There she is trying to make another move. Lindsay once again says this is a bit slow. I agree. Moving it along nicely here. Let's get it up to speed and get ready for the fast finish. She'll pull up and try to see if anyone else wants to hold the tempo this time. Fairbanks is trying to move along the side there. Had to get thrown pretty high to go around the lead rider, but the field looks like they want to slow back down again. Patience in the group. 2 to go. McTallman kind of moving towards the front, the rider for East Portland. Almost at the blue line now, starting to kind of crawl his way down. He's got his teammate Ryder Carlson right behind him. David Avery, our Work Health Solutions Racing team rider from Sonal, California, right next door to Tallman. And Fairbanks for the Jerry Baker Juniors, trying to also be this front edge of this sprint. But keep your eyes on the triple shot riders right behind. That second lineup of riders also going to be very important here in this final sprint. If they can find their lane, they're going to have a good lead out here all across the track. Here comes the move at the high part. All the way at the top is going to be Tendo for triple shot, starting to accelerate things at the blue line, but not quite wanting to engage down towards the sprinter's lane just yet. It's still Avery at the front now. The acceleration coming from higher up on the track. We got our front group about 4 or 5 starting to pull away, and there is all those triple shot riders, but David Avery looking very strong from the front. Great speed and spin here for the junior. Ooh, our Californian will take the scratch. Great high-speed racing for him, and it looks like East Liga coming across the line next for triple shot, and Tendo right behind. Great racing all around, but especially a fun finish there. Lots of high speed for the juniors, and congrats to our rider David Avery, putting on an excellent finishing sprint there. Coming up next, we have our junior C group racing in their short scratch race. Track looks clear. Whenever the riders are ready, let's bring them to the rail. All junior C's to the rail for the short scratch. Off of the neutral in our short scratch, 4 laps on the card. Junior C's, some of our younger riders, but it gets younger yet. On deck very soon. Our youngest group, the Junior D's, should be set to start. Looks like many of them are already in position. They know the race is going to be over pretty fast. This weekend is one of the efforts of our Velodrome, our board in particular, our director, to try to offer something for kids in this region to come together, to get to know each other a little bit, to have some extra opportunity to learn from one another and from great coaches, and then have a chance to just do racing that's just all about them. This idea started a few years back, and it's been very popular, and hopefully we can continue to grow and make it even better in years to come. Certainly the Jerry Baker Junior team isn't going anywhere, and nor is this Velodrome, so we'd love to have our riders back for more as we continue to refine this. I'm sure there'll be conversations and follow-ups after the event to see how we can make it better for everybody, but look for more information of Junior Takeover and all of our other special events here at the Velodrome for 2024 in the off-season. If you want to be up to date with that, don't forget to hit us on the socials at JB Velodrome or hit up our website, velodrome.org. You can actually browse to the very bottom or find the Connect tab to get signed up for the newsletter. A couple ways to get information and stay up to date with what they're doing here at the Velodrome. Our riders got their start. They're now on their very first lap here. The Junior Cs, not quite our youngest category of racers, but pretty young here, are out. And there's 9 of them in this group going for 4 laps around the track. The bell comes awfully quick, and they're already going up to a very quick clip. No surprise. It's a short race. Let's get it rolling. 3 to go. That was Finlayson at the front as they came across the line that first time. The speedster for the Junior Cs yesterday during Friday Night Racing. Won't be surprised to see more speed from Finlayson today. Two to go. Finlayson back at the front. We're going to be saying that name a few more times, I imagine, as we get to the end of this race quickly. Xavier Kelly, his teammate right behind him, the rider, that sort of reddish colored helmet. And then Gordon Treen right behind him. 3 triple shots at the front of the group of Junior Cs. Charlotte Westover is trying to hold on the acceleration here from the riders in front of her, right on that orange bike. Trying to be in position. A few more of the Jerry Baker Juniors also trying to scramble forward a bit here as they feel like this isn't going to slow down anytime soon. 1 to go. Finlayson still on the pedals. Very similar sort of attack to what we saw yesterday in this race. Westover was a little bit more prepared here and gets into a really good position to try to challenge for this. Finlayson ends up leading Westover here into turn 2, but she'll take over on the back straight. It's now Westover in the lead. Finlayson still in pursuit in turn 3. It's Westover still driving the pace. Showing up in great form here today. Charlotte's trying to stick the win here. Finlayson's starting to recover a bit. Ooh, it's a good race for the finish. Charlotte should have it. Nice racing for the Junior Cs, keeping it quick. Good acceleration at about 2 laps out to go. Finlayson took over at the front. Westover navigated around the speed in the middle group there and made her way out in front and took over about 200 meters to go and didn't look back. Nice race there for the Junior Cs. Junior Ds come to the rail. Your youngest group today racing the shortest of the short races here. This 2-lap scratch. Don't blink or you'll miss it. It's going to be fun. On deck, Junior A's for the tempo. We will be calling you up for the International Omnium in order of how you finish the scratch. So do be ready for that, please. That is coming up very quickly. Junior A's set to start soon for your second race in the International Omnium. I will call you up in order. And they're sending the way for the neutral. This is going to be over. Before you know it, just 2 quick laps around the track. This is the Junior Takeover. This is all about youth at the Velodrome. Our regular racing night program is Friday night racing at 7 o'clock. That's kind of the main big show. And the juniors came to take over that too yesterday. We started off with Junior C and D racing before we got to our sort of regularly scheduled event. Huge kitty kilo. You can check it at Instagram at JB Velodrome. Take a look at some of the fun we had yesterday with the kids coming in and joining us. And that's an every week show. We have hundreds of people here in attendance in the audience. Our food trucks and beverage garden is opened up. It's quite the experience. So if you're just rolling through the park today, you got your bike and you heard the voice, you thought, what's going on in the Velodrome right now? I would want to at least invite you to come check out next Friday night and every Friday night for the rest of the season. We race during the summer. It's a great time. Love to have you back. 7 o'clock on Friday nights. This group here looks like they're about to get their whistle for the start of the race, and off we go. Whoa, the attack starts right away. No hesitation here. Cody Chang of the Jerry Baker Juniors, number 604, jumps as soon as he knows the race has started. Trying to just make this a straight up 2-lap race at top speed. And so far looking pretty good for the little speedster. This was a good move. All right, is Cody gonna hold on to this one? 1 to go. The chase coming in. We got 2 riders closing down, including Vihan Balamiller. Trying to work their way back up there, almost making contact. And it looks like we've got a group of 3 at the front. Cody says, oh man, I got caught. I was trying to get away from this kid. We saw what Vihan could do yesterday in the chariots. It's great top speed here for this rider and got to the right place where they need to be. And we have a second rider challenging here. Coming out of the home straight now between these two. It'll be a straight up sprint for the line. Ooh, wow, it's close. Can't call it. The kids make it good. Owen Chen right next door to Vihan. Look before we move, kids, especially going down. Not a good idea after a sprint. Keep your line, keep your line. All right, nice racing there for the youngest group. Very cool move from Owen there to go right at the beginning. Pardon me, for Cody to go right there at the beginning. It was between Owen and Vihan. I still don't know what the call was. We have to review. It was so close. I got so excited about the result of that race, I didn't pull up my start lists. So stand by. For the Junior A's coming into their second race, we begin now the tempo in order. The points you have. Our first rider in the International Omnium currently with 15 points, Will Mitchell. In second with 14 points, Merrick Gallagher. In third with 13 points is Gavin Newman. In fourth with 12 is Jack Hampson. And in fifth with 11 is Amos Scott Burris. Joe Spranger with 10. Danny Scoville, 9. Lou Kelly, 9. Kimberly Chen, 8. Mateus Dodd, 7. Oscar Pachimoriki, 6. That's all riders now checked in to the rail and set to start our second race today in the International Omnium, the Tempo. All right, off we go. A very specific race format the International Omnium and brings for the Tempo, where there's a period at the beginning of the race where there is no scored points. So the Tempo typically about getting points at the front of the race. First rider across the line, once we start scoring, we'll get 1 point, and that's it. The first 4 in the International Omnium are not scored. They're basically just racing a scratch race for the first 4 laps, and then we will hear confirmation that we are beginning. I believe there will be the sound of the bell on the lap previous before the first lap with points at the front. Every lap after that, the first rider gets 1 point. The rider with the most at the end, of course, will be your winner. Any ties are broken by position on the final sprint. Our oldest junior group here on the track, about ready to start. The Junior A's. There's the sound of the whistle. This, of course, an age-based grouping. We try to do our best to put riders with groups that they will be most competitive with. And the older juniors today, as part of the Junior Takeover, get to do something that they rarely get to do at most racing events except for national class competition, and that's an international omnium. Sometimes your local velodromes will include those in their race programs as well, but not as common of a thing to run except for special events. So giving some of our riders an opportunity to go through this format, get a little bit more familiar with it. You don't have to win every race to do well in the omnium. You got to put yourself in a good position to win a points race at the end of 4 races. So there's a little bit of strategy that has to go in terms of your personal fitness and your ability to approach each race in a way that you can end up competitive in that points race. You don't want to get yourself in a big hole, but if you go win the first 3 races and start that points race having spent all your energy already, that's not going to end very well for the riders either. Still currently in that situation now, no points at the front. Just a couple more laps to go here before we'll start giving the first rider a point on the front of this field. On deck, the Junior Bs for their second race. Junior Bs, their short scratch is coming up next. Merrick getting in a position there just to roll with it here. One of our local speedsters for the Jerry Baker Juniors team, and recently upgrading to join the elite Cat 1-2 men field that we have on Friday nights. And there's no slouch in the group, has been doing very well competitively amongst them, and he's trying to look fast here amongst the Junior A's, but he's already matched himself up with here Will Mitchell, the winner of the scratch. Looked very quick in that race. Next time around, first rider gets a point. Next time around, first rider gets a point in every lap after that. Mitchell and Gallagher get caught. They'll say, let's not use any more energy than we've already used. No one's got points yet, so we'll sit up high for a second, take a breather. There's Gallagher again on the attack. Mitchell and Newman trying to cover. Mitchell gets the first point. You'll be a race leader, everybody else without points. Mitchell again will make the jump. One more point for him. Give him 2, and the lead of the race still is the rider in dark gray. Thanks again for those out on their Saturday afternoon trying to find a little bit of space in between the rain to get some activity time in. We see you over there in corner 1 joining us. Thanks for being here. The Junior Takeover in its second session. We've been fighting the elements today. We found a little bit of dry time here, but oh boy. We're starting to feel it again. So if you're at home watching on YouTube, thanks for tuning in as well. It's a smaller crowd on a Saturday, both on the virtual audience and the in-person audience. But we're here celebrating, enjoying, and cheering on the young athletes that we have out here with us. These are the Junior A's, our older group of kids. And I have to make a correction for an announcement we made earlier. Luke Kelly, who I saw a lot of positivity for Luke. She's getting called out like on the stream yesterday. I think that's the furthest traveler here, our San Jose area team. On the registration from Sunnyvale, California. That doesn't sound too bad. Sunnyvale. We could use some Sunnyvale. Merrick's trying to get another point here for himself, just not going to find it. Mitchell in great race shape right now. Picks up another, I believe that's his fourth, correction. Your leaders will be seeing 3 to go as they come onto the home straight this time. Your leader still Will Mitchell with 4 points. Merrick did find 1 in the midst here of the action, so our rider in second with 1 point. Now Gavin Newman wants to go a little earlier to try to get a point. That's a good move for number 350. We will likely be taking a pause after this race because of the precipitation here, folks, but we think we can at least get this one done because it's coming in slow. Gallagher for another point. That moves him into second behind Mitchell and ahead of Newman now. This is a good move for Gallagher. The sprinting nonsense, just go for the kilo at this point. Put in the solo effort, break away from Mitchell and see if he can get some points here at the end of this race. If he gets the next two, he will be your winner based on the tie break because he'd also be in front at the end of the race. So this is a good move here for the Jerry Baker Jr. rider. One to go. One to go for Gallagher. All riders will be finishing up on this lap behind Gallagher, though 4 riders who haven't been caught by the field are ineligible on this. Not that they're going to be getting the 1 point at the front. That's going to be Gallagher on his own, who will get 4 in total. And that will give him the victory here in this race. So he'll get the most points for the next part of the race. Get a little bit busy there, but the big thing was trying to sort out the tie breaks in that group. Riders, please exit. We want to get you off the track quickly. We are clearing the race surface. Riders, please exit the track as quick as you can. It's generally on the back straight. Thanks. Yeah, the Pacific Northwest is rearing its head at us right now. We need to pause for safety. The only reason we can't race on a beautiful day like today is when the rain rolls in. So we got to pause a little bit here as we assess the situation. We'll see if things dry up a bit. Been fun to watch the racing here. We'll keep the stream on for the time being as we don't know the exact length of this delay. It's very light precipitation, so if it stops within short order, it should dry quickly as well. I'll take a break off the microphone as well as we take a pause from the coverage. We'll be back with you as soon as we know more, if we've made any other determinations about the race, and if we're going to be able to resume or not. Thank you. Those of you still tuned in on the live stream, thanks for being patient. We are bringing things back here now, so you should be able to hear the voice. We'll get the camera and everything rolling back in a second. We wanted to get our gear inside during the small rain we had there. Just a little bit of downpour, nothing too crazy. Quick enough that we're able to get back on relatively short order, and we'll start this thing back up again where we left off, which was at the short scratch race for the Junior Bs. All right, all the parts and pieces are ready. Riders, please to the rail. Junior Bs, to the rail, please. Our Junior Takeover resumes. And racing getting started here on the track are our Junior B riders, not our oldest group, our second group down. Also our largest field here today, it looks like. 15 riders started out in the scratch race. I think we're still at that number. This, an 8-lap scratch, so they'll get the bell at 1 to go. They raced a 15-lap as their longer distance. Will go on a shorter scratch race here for their second competition. And unlike the Junior A's, their last group we saw race about a half an hour ago, those riders were racing in an omnium where each race adds points to their totals. For a final race, this one is just scored independently. So this is going to be a race within itself. 8 laps of speed for the Junior Bs, about ready to start. And the whistle signing us into the race. Off we go. 8 laps. Stretch out single file here, as it looks like one of our local riders for the Jerry Baker Juniors, Logan Lee, has decided to take the lead role for well over this first lap. Just try to get this thing really moving, as it was a bit on the slower side, I'll admit, in that first race for these riders in their 15-lap scratch. Speed is certainly a good ingredient for safety in most of these fields. Spreading it out nice and single file here. Your field seeing 6 to go. Rutomko moves out of the way for Fairbanks, now moves to the front. At this tempo, your riders looking to take roughly half-lap poles. Even in that's a pretty big ask, because it's pretty fast under the speed of Logan, who got this group going for about a lap and a half, but he's actually now falling off the back of the pace a bit. And as he's not driving the train anymore, the rest of the group's sitting a little high. 5 to go. One thing that can be a rarity for these juniors is to get to race frequently in a field, let alone one that is only made up of their peers. Usually you have to get on a plane and fly down somewhere like wherever Nationals is that year to really get this experience. So anytime you can get more than one of these experiences in a year is great for these riders, especially if they want to stay competitive on a national scale. So this kind of exposure, perfect for riders that want to continue to build their experience. Keep working. Got a bit of a dropped chain situation. That's going to be from probably a pulled wheel for Lucy. Not going to be able to get back out there again, most likely, before the end. Just making sure she's safe. It looks like she's got it well handled. Her field coming through turn 3 now. The big emphasis, look before we move, has been kind of reminded that several times during our clinics this weekend. Riders got to put that into play here and race safe and smart. You can hear good communication in the field, a little bit less anxious than their first races. They're getting a little bit more settled in, but still a lot of communication needed. Ion Gola for the Jerry Baker Juniors pulls way up out of the way, and as he does so, a move right down the middle as Keegan Fairbanks tries to launch his own sort of a mid-race attack here right through the center of the group. He knows it's getting close to the end. Time to do something here. 2 to go. The pace is quick behind Fairbanks, and the rest of the field starting to get themselves in position. The winner of the long scratch now at the front of the race. So we saw what Avery could do. It's David Avery, number 470. That's our Californian in this group, and brought some serious speed in that first scratch race at the end. Finds himself at the front, and I don't think he's going to try to give this spot up. I think he's just going to hold on to it as long as he can here. Maybe waiting for an attack, but not pulling up just yet. Still sitting down there. Moderate tempo, awaiting the top speed. Here comes the first jump at 1 to go. If you've ever been the beneficiary of a good view on the live stream from an action cam shot, there's the operator getting to race today. Sean Gata is the rider that made the attack, opening things up nicely on the home straight, but the counter now from David Avery, who's great speed in that first scratch. I think this is going to be another really solid win for this rider as he just looks to drive that acceleration so well. Here comes the ride out of turn 4, though. It's not going to be an easy win. Oh, nice sprint. Able to hold on. Great top speed from these juniors. As Rendell from the Triple Shot Cycling team, Bukahanana from Triple Shot, all trying to come in and challenge David to the line. Avery able to hold on for the victory here once again. And those riders will make their way off on the back straight on the lap they finish, preferably into the warm-up circle. There we go. Still a few of them working on that one. It's unique for our track, we have to admit. It's a big track, so it's enough room to do so. Not quite clear yet. Stand by here for the Junior Cs. Track is clear. Junior C's to the rail, please. And into the neutral we go for a very similar race format. This is the longer of the 2 races this group has raced so far today, marked as their long scratch for 8 laps. Yes, this is a younger group. The first time they were out here, they raced for 4 laps. This time we'll double it to 8. Well, the same story for the youngest group, our Junior Ds, who are on deck next. We'll get to see them take on a very similar race. Racing underway. It's going to be a quick one here for 8 laps for this group, nearly our youngest group of riders. And the most laps we've seen from them yet here for this Junior Takeover weekend. Your winner in the short scratch comes to the front for just a moment is Charlotte Westover. Let's keep an eye on her for her success in that first race. Look to try and do it again here in the longer format. Makeup of the person. 5 to go. Bit of speed here from number 622 is Gordon Treen. Many riders coming down from the Victoria area today, and many of them also in that Triple Shot Cycling Club jersey make their way into this group. Under that acceleration, a little bit more action here at the front as we got riders trading blows. Starting to settle in a little bit here behind Charlotte again. Seeing 4 to go now. Finlayson, number 621, the rider was just pulled off the front. Another rider to watch here has had a great showing yesterday during Friday night racing out of this field. Has typically gone a bit early on the attacks, not trying to sit in the field and sprint right to the end, but more of an early attack has been the preference for that rider. Moves to the near the back here of this straight line, so we're actually right in the middle of the lineup, and 3 to go. So may have to start moving up if they want to try to do a similar type of attack here in short order. Now the speed's pretty consistent here. Everybody's in single file, has been this way for well over a lap. Continuing the tempo here nicely at 2 to go. Gonna get the bell next time, juniors. The bell next time around. It's Renna Fuller at the front for the J. Baker Juniors team. Another one of our triple shot riders right there. The lone rider in this group from the East Portland Youth Cycling team, Wes Hampson's also here. 616 comes to the front. We got our Californians, we got our Portland area riders, we've got many from British Columbia, including the Victoria area, and of course, a large representation from the Washington team, the Jerry Baker Juniors, our local riders. And the group here now going to be getting the bell. It's 1 to go. Gordon makes the attack out of turn 4, is on the front, waiting to see if somebody else is going to come charging in. He starts to see the speed of Westover, who comes in under the blue line, trying to fly up towards the front. Another rider who I was looking to see a good attack from, now starting to come towards the front, is Fairbanks, trying to find a good position here. Pardon me, not Fairbanks. Wrong field. Sophia moves all the way to the front here alongside Westover. Good sprint here. Ooh. Westover taking over at the front, and Finlayson all the way at the end makes his way up. It might have been on the outside by an inch to our rider from Victoria. And riders, please exit quickly on the back straight. Exit on the back straight. Use the warm-up circle. Off the track on the back straight. Thank you. Number 617 receives a relegation, and it will have a recorded official warning for moving down into the sprinter's lane while occupied and impeding the progress of another rider in that last sprint. So just an official announcement, 617 will go on as a warning on the record, and for impeding of the rider and moving into the sprinter's lane when occupied, that is a relegation. That will score the rider at the back of the sprint. We may be going into yet another rain delay. We forgot to print the correct schedule, which was race and then break. That's really what we wanted to do. We intended this to be a 24-hour race event to do 12 races or whatever it is, 15. All right, we're going to take a little pause again because it's wet. Right at the end of that race, it started to pick up. And here we go. So we'll be back with you when we can be.